Hi, I'm Ian Grieve and this is a short video on PurchaseHQ, one of the GP Elementz portals from ISC Software. One of the mods PurchaseHQ has is requisition mode, which when enabled allows you to enter purchase requisitions. When requisition mode is not enabled, the document type you would enter is instead a purchase order, and that's what we're going to show here. When you log into PurchaseHQ, you have a document entry tile on the home page, which allows you to enter new purchase orders. As you can see, I have one purchases in cart. This means I have one purchase order I've started generating, but haven't yet submitted for approval. So when we drill into that tile, we see the purchase orders list, and this shows me the purchase orders currently in progress of being created. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new document. So if I click on new document, I then get the add purchase order window where I can choose the vendor from whom I'm going to purchase and select the required date for the purchase order as well, and put a description in. For purchase orders, the description is solely used within the portal as a way of identifying which purchase orders in progress are being entered. Now in this case, I'm going to raise a purchase order for a new server, and I can click the Add button here. What this will do is it'll take me through to the purchase order entry window, and I'm raising a purchase order for Advanced 0001. As you can see, the description and required dates have pulled through from the previous window, but in this case what I want to do is change that required date to later in the month, and I can choose a ship to address to say I want to go to International A instead of the primary address, and the address here will update based on that selection. What I can then do is I can see lines that are on the purchase order already, and I can click Add Item there, and then in the search I can type in part of the name. So if I type in serve and hit return, it'll do a lookup on the item number and the item description for anything matching the entry that I put in there. And in this case, I want to use a dual core server. So if I click on the item number, it'll then bring me back to the configure item window. And it's in here that I can choose which site I want to ship it to, the quantity we want to order, the unit of measure, as well as the unit cost there, and the required date is defaulted through. And I can choose to put a comment in against this line if I want to, but when I'm finished, I can just click Add. And that line will be pulled back to the purchase order there, and you can see it. What I can do is I can click Add Item, I can add a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth line, and go on adding additional lines on there until I've got all the lines entered. PurchaseHQ also integrates with the document attachment function in GP for the storing of attachments. And attachments might be things like a specification sheet from the supplier or a full quote from the supplier. And I can attach as many records as I want here. And these are going to be visible to the approver later on in the purchase ordering process. Again, I can enter a comment against the purchase order here. I can save it for later. So if I'm halfway through processing this, I need to go away and do something else, I can save it and that would appear in the list of purchase orders which are in progress of being raised. But as it is, what I can do here is hit submit, and this is going to submit it to the standard GP workflow module. So the approvals through GP or through PurchaseHQ will use exactly the same workflow process. What I can do is I can put a comment on here. So what I might do is say, please approve servers for GP upgrade, and hit submit. And so at the point of submitting, it's going to go into the workflow process. It's going to create the purchase order in GP, and in a moment it's going to come back and show me the purchase order number which has been generated. So up to this point, no information has been in the GP database, but now you can see purchase order has been submitted and order number is PO2085. I can OK that, and that purchase order has now gone to the approver to be approved. So that's an overview there for you on how to raise a purchase order within the PurchaseHQ module. Thanks for watching.